Imagine you walk into an ancient temple. There are no electric lights, no speakers, no hidden cameras. Yet the moment a priest lights a fire, enormous doors begin to open by themselves. A metal bird starts singing. A statue pours wine into a cup. Somewhere behind the walls, machinery hisses like a living creature. You would probably call it magic. But the real answer is far stranger. Ancient people did not live in a world without technology. They lived in a world where technology was rare, secret, handmade, and often hidden. When only a few engineers understood how a machine worked, everyone else saw the effect without seeing the cause. And that is almost the perfect recipe for magic. In the 1st century, the engineer Hero of Alexandria described devices powered by water, air pressure, steam, ropes, weights, and carefully balanced valves. One of his most famous systems could open temple doors automatically. Here is how the trick worked. A fire burned on an altar. The heat expanded air inside a hidden container. That pressure pushed water into another vessel. As the second vessel grew heavier, it pulled ropes connected to the doors. The worshippers saw fire appear, then watched massive doors move on their own. The machine remained hidden. To you, it sounds like engineering. To someone standing in a smoky temple 2,000 years ago, it could feel like the gods had just accepted a notification. Hero also described mechanical birds that sang, statues that poured liquids, automated theater shows, and a coin-operated device that released a measured amount of sacred water. Yes, the ancient world had something surprisingly close to a vending machine. You inserted a coin. The coin pressed a lever. A valve opened. Water flowed. Then the coin slipped away and the valve closed again. Simple, clever, and probably much more impressive than a modern machine that eats your money and refuses to release the snack. But some ancient machines were not theatrical tricks. They were serious scientific instruments. Around the end of the 2nd century BCE, Greek craftsmen built what is now called the Antikythera Mechanism. It was recovered from a shipwreck near the Greek island of Antikythera in the early 20th century. At first, the corroded fragments looked like useless lumps of bronze. Then, researchers noticed gears. Not one or two rough wheels, but a complex system of precisely arranged gearwork. When reconstructed, the device revealed itself as a mechanical astronomical calculator. It could display cycles of the sun and moon, track calendars, and predict eclipses. You turned a handle, and the heavens moved across its dials. That matters because a solar eclipse was not just an interesting sky event in the ancient world. It could be interpreted as a warning, an omen, or a message connected to rulers and wars. A machine that appeared to predict darkness falling across the sun would have looked less like a calculator and more like a box that knew the future. Then the technology almost vanished. No surviving machine from the following centuries matches its combination of compact gears and astronomical calculation. The knowledge behind it may not have disappeared in a single dramatic moment. It could have faded as workshops closed, specialists died, trade networks changed, and customers stopped paying for expensive scientific instruments. A technology does not need to be banned to disappear. Sometimes it only needs to become unprofitable. Ancient materials could be just as surprising. Roman builders created harbors, bridges, domes, baths, and walls that survived for centuries. Some Roman concrete structures remain strong in harsh environments where modern materials can deteriorate quickly. For a long time, white pieces inside Roman concrete were treated as signs of careless mixing. More recent research suggests that at least some Romans used a hot mixing process involving quicklime. Those lime-rich fragments could later react with water entering small cracks, helping new mineral material form and seal parts of the damage. The wall was not alive, but it could appear to heal. Imagine you are watching a cracked structure survive storm after storm while newer buildings fail. You do not need a laboratory to decide that the old builders knew something mysterious. They did. It was chemistry. Roman glassmakers also created objects that still look like special effects. The 4th century Lycurgus cup appears green when light shines on it from the front, but red when light passes through it from behind. The cup does not change paint. Its glass contains tiny particles of gold and silver that interact with light. The makers did not understand nanoparticles using modern scientific language, but they learned how materials behaved through skilled experimentation. That is an important difference. You do not need a modern theory to discover a working technique. A craftsperson can repeat a process for generations without writing down every reason it works. The knowledge may live in timing, temperature, color, sound, smell, and experience. It may be stored in hands rather than books, and when those hands disappear, the recipe can disappear with them. Damascus steel became famous for blades with flowing patterns and remarkable cutting qualities. The historical process depended on specialized, high-carbon crucible steel, careful heating, forging, and control of its internal structure. Researchers studying surviving blades have found extremely fine features, including cementite structures and, in one examined saber, carbon nanotubes. The original makers were not secretly using electron microscopes. They were controlling matter through practice. But once the supply of suitable raw material changed and the chain of specialist knowledge broke, the classic process became difficult to reproduce. Later metalworkers could copy the wavy appearance without necessarily recreating the same material. The pattern survived, the complete method did not. Some technologies were lost because they were valuable. Others were lost because they were dangerous. Greek fire was an incendiary weapon used by the Byzantine Empire, especially in naval warfare. Accounts describe flames projected toward enemy ships and a substance capable of continuing to burn on water. Its exact formula remains uncertain. That uncertainty is part of the legend. The weapon was protected as a state secret, and secrecy can preserve an advantage for a while. But secrecy also makes knowledge fragile. When very few people know the full process, one broken chain can erase it. Imagine facing a ship that sprays fire across the sea. You cannot inspect the pumps. You cannot analyze the liquid. You only see water failing to stop the flames. Magic would be a reasonable first draft, but the most surprising thing about these forgotten technologies is not that ancient people were secretly more advanced than you. They were not building modern computers, electric grids, or space engines and then casually misplacing them. Their achievements were different. They became extraordinarily skilled at solving specific problems with the materials, tools, labor, and knowledge available to them. A Greek engineer could use pressure to make a god appear to move. A craftsman could build gears that modeled the sky. A Roman glassmaker could control color at a scale too small to see. A metalworker could shape steel through signals learned from flame and experience. Technology is not a straight staircase. It is more like a forest of paths. Some paths become highways. Others vanish under leaves. War destroys workshops. Empires lose funding. Languages disappear. Secret formulas die with their owners. Raw materials become unavailable. A machine survives, but its instruction manual does not. A text survives, but nobody has the tools to rebuild what it describes. And sometimes, a society simply decides that a brilliant invention is not useful enough. Hero's steam-powered Eola pile could spin when heated, but it did not become an industrial engine. The ancient economy, available materials, engineering priorities, and sources of labor did not create the same pressure that later drove steam technology into mines, factories, and transportation. An invention can exist without starting a revolution. You see the same pattern today. A device can look impossible when its inner workings are hidden. A company protects its process. A specialist uses knowledge that most people cannot explain. A screen responds to your face. A machine produces an answer from nowhere. The effect arrives instantly, while the mechanism remains invisible. That is where technology begins to resemble magic. Not because the laws of nature have stopped working, because someone else understands how to use them, and you do not. So imagine those temple doors opening again. The crowd sees divine power. The priest sees a sacred ceremony. The engineer hears air moving through a pipe behind the wall. All three are watching the same event. Only one of them knows where the magic is hidden.